What's going on, guys? Welcome to your very first HTML5 and CSS3 Canvas tutorial. In this mini series we will be discussing about the canvas element in HTML5, and we will be using CSS3 and JavaScript to draw graphics and to import images in our HTML5. This tutorial series would be around would consist of 10 tutorials, and we will be using HTML5, CSS3 and JavaScript. So if you know anything about these three languages, then it is well and good, but if you do not know anything about them, then I would be explaining the tags and the elements which I will be using in these tutorials. So guys and girls, in the first two tutorials we will be using the internal cascading style sheets and internal JavaScript file to create our canvas element and to draw a rectangle and a square on our canvas. So canvas is an element in HTML5 which is used to draw graphics and to import images and to draw animations as well on the fly. And they use bitmap images. They do not use the vector graphic images, so if you zoom in the graphics they will distort. So let's begin. In this tutorial series I am using Notepad++ for the typing purposes. If you would like to download Notepad++, then please Google it. In Notepad++, I open a new file and save it as canvas.htm. I type in the file name and then save. In the save as type dialog box I select .html and save it. Most of us know that to begin HTML5 document we write doc type HTML, and then let me zoom it out so it is a little clearer. And below we begin our HTML tag, and we close our HTML tag, and we can write that we are using English as a language for typing. And under the HTML tag we have got two main tags. One is the head tag, which is usually used for title and meta tag purposes, and the other tag is the body tag, which is the main content of our HTML page. So I open a head tag and close it, and then I introduce a body tag and close it. So remember, in HTML you should be closing your tags. So I have introduced 3 tags and I have closed them. In the head tag I introduce another tag, that is the title tag, which would be the title of our page, and it is good for search engine optimization. So our titles should be good. So I introduced a title tag and I save my file. Now I would like to introduce the canvas tag, and the canvas tag is used in the body tag, and you can use more than one canvas tag in the same HTML file. To begin the canvas tag you just type canvas and you close it with /canvas. And it is always a good idea to give an ID to your elements, because you would be using those IDs to refer them in the JavaScript and in Cascading Style Sheets. So I give an ID of new canvas to my canvas, and I also need to give the width and height of my canvas. I need to give the dimensions of my canvas. I say that my canvas would be 400 pixels wide and 400 pixels in height. So now we have introduced the canvas tag, and if we save our file in Notepad++ and click on run command and then launch it in our browser, then we would see that we have got a blank HTML page. Why is that? It is because by default the canvas tag inherits the properties of its parent element, which is in this case is the HTML document. So the background of our HTML document is white, so the background of our canvas element is white as well. Now we need to change those properties of our canvas element, and we will be using internal style sheets to do that. There are three types of styling techniques. One is the inline styling technique, the other one is the internal style sheet, which we will be using in our head section, and the third one is the external style sheet, which we will be using in our next tutorials. So to introduce the internal style sheet, I use the tag style and then type equals to, I tell my browser that it would be a text-based CSS styling technique, and I close my style tag with /style. And in my style sheet I would like this canvas to turn yellow. So because I have given an ID of this canvas, I use hash symbol and then the canvas name, which is new canvas, and this is basically the selector. And then in CSS we usually use two curly braces, and in those curly braces we use the property and give the value to that property. So we want the background color property of our canvas to turn into yellow. So I use the selector. Now which property do I need to change? It's the background color. And to which color would I like it to be? I like it to change to yellow color. And I usually it's the syntax that you end your CSS statement with a semicolon. So I save my file, click on run, launch in Chrome, and now on my white background I have got a yellow canvas. And you can always or you can also assign the border properties, the padding properties, margin properties, whatever properties you would like to assign to our canvas element. So I would just say that the border should be 2 pixels and it should be solid and black in color. I save my file, go to my browser, refresh it, and now see that we have got a black border which is solid and 2 pixels wide on our canvas. In the next tutorial, we will be using the internal JavaScript file to draw a square and a rectangle on our canvas file. So thank you very much, guys and girls, for joining me for this ifectner.com canvas video tutorial, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Take care. Bye bye. Tutorials, we will be using the internal cascading style sheets and internal JavaScript file to create our canvas element and to draw a rectangle and a square on our canvas. So canvas is an element in HTML5 which is used to draw graphics and to import images in our HTML5. This tutorial series would be around would consist of 10 tutorials, and we will be using HTML5, CSS3 and JavaScript. So if you know anything about these three languages, then it is well and good, but if you do not know anything about them, then I would be explaining the tags and the elements which I will be using in these tutorials. So guys and girls, in the first two tutorials, what's going on, guys? Welcome to your very first HTML5 and CSS3 canvas tutorial. In this mini series, we will be discussing about the canvas element in HTML5, and we will be using CSS3 and JavaScript to draw and to import images and to draw animations as well on the fly. And they use bitmap images. They do not use the vector graphic images, so if you zoom in the graphics, they will distort.